Hello and welcome to That Fabric Guide. Today I'm going to talk about Fabric data agents. And specifically, this is really cool. I like this feature because you can talk to your data. You don't need to have a pre-built dashboard anymore. You can just chat with your data model, and that's very cool. And the best part is I can show you live on my screen. So let's dive into my laptop. All right, so here we have my laptop. I have used a data set that I've created a while ago with the New York City taxi data. I've used it before in other videos as well, and I've created a semantic model. So let's open that semantic model real quick to show how we can, what data we actually can work with. And we have a taxi trips fact table, and then we have some dimensions. The taxi type, is it a yellow or green taxi, for example. We have the pickup and drop off locations, we have dates, and we have the times. So let's look at the semantic model itself, and what we can see here is that we have properly created this nice little star schema, and that should be enough for Fabric data agents to work with. Now the only thing is that here in this taxi trips fact table we do not have any DAX measures, any explicit measures. So let's create a few for right now, especially on the trip distance and on the passenger count, and then we can easily analyze those. And now we can create a new measure saying number of passengers equals the sum of passenger count. Amazing. And then a new measure saying the trip distance equals the sum of trip distance. That's cool. All right, now let's go back to workspace here, look at our validation report. And here we have this very simple Power BI report that we can now use to find numbers and to validate our data set against. I've used the taxi trip sum here. Let's put in this one. I mean, for now, it doesn't really matter. It should be the exact same thing, right? So let's go and let's start creating our data agent. We start to click on new item. We go to all items and we search for data agent. It's still in preview, but we can use it. So taxi and oops, I cannot put spaces in there. Taxi analysis. We click on create and then the agent will be loaded. Now we should be beginning with adding data sources. I mean, Fabric is letting us first add data sources. So let's add data sources. We click on add data sources and we can add semantic models and lakehouse and so on. We will add a semantic model for today. And now the data agent will be checking if we actually properly did that. Of course we did. There's no issue right there. And now we can start selecting tables from that semantic model that we want to expose to the agent. And I mean, I'm happy to expose all of them. And we can start asking questions now to the agent. And we can, for example, say in 2023, what was the total number of passengers that took green taxis? Now Fabric is analyzing the data, as you can see. It now understands it needs to go into the gold taxi, and it will not understand actually what's happening here. Okay, so now actually what you can see here is that the taxi type filter in here, I've opened the DAX query that is being created by the agent, where the filter for calendar year 2023, this seems fine. Total passengers, number of passengers, that's also fine. It's picking the proper measure that we've just created. But for taxi types, I'm not exactly sure whether green taxis is actually the thing that we need. So let's go into our validation report here. So let's just show here the taxi types, and indeed we have green and not green taxi, right? That's the taxi type. So Fabric is not really understanding that. Yep, let's save that for now. And let's go to our taxi analysis here. All right. We will give the AI some instructions in here. When I talk about taxi types, I want you to find the available types in the taxi types table, please. I'm wondering if that will work now. Can you again show me the number of passengers that traveled with green taxis in 2023. And as you can see, this is still a work in progress, right? So there's no AI that we can rely on right now to just do anything and expect it to know everything about your business and about your data, right? We need to help it a little bit, but because we now put in the AI instructions. So we got the answer saying, in 2023, a total of 946,072 passengers traveled with green taxis. One step was completed. The completed steps that you show here are queries. So we can open this and we can see that the analysis for the semantic model has been done. We can open that and we can find the DAX query that has been sent to the Power BI semantic model. Now, in this case, we see that here the taxi type includes green. So that's actually cool. The answer is 946,072. Let's validate that. Let's go to validate. And here we can edit. We can then put this here. We will put date, calendar year on the filter. We will say equals 2023, apply filter. Taxi trips, and we put in the number of passengers here, and we should be fine. And this might take a while because there's literally billions of rows in this table. Actually, that was quite fast. And actually, we find here now that in the green set there was 946,072 taxi passengers in 2023. So our AI model understood the question that we asked it, and it showed me the proper results. So that's really amazing. All right, let's go back. Can you tell me in 2024 what were the most popular pickup locations in which boroughs and zones? So this is a more open question. I'm now not trying to pinpoint an exact number. I'm just trying to find what the most popular pickup location was. And the AI agent is actually understanding my question. It is parsing the natural language as AI models do. I'm sure you're familiar with ChatGPT and Copilot and Claude and so on. And we see now that here actually queries are being created by the model. And that is basically what Fabric Data Agents is, right? Maybe Microsoft will correct me on that. But basically what Fabric Data Agents is doing is it is treating your natural language query that you're asked, the prompt that you give it, and then change it to a DAX query that can be executed in order to give you an answer. We got an answer actually. So we see that for Queens, these were the most popular. For Manhattan, these were the most popular. That's quite a lot. So let's ask it to narrow this down to just one per borough and give the numbers. Okay, thanks. Now give me... I always say thank you to my AI agents, by the way. Now give me the number one zone per borough and include the number of pickups in 2024. So you can use this to dive into your data, right? I'm now not... so let's assume in the beginning I wasn't sure I wanted to find the number one borough the number one zone per borough and the number of trips. But now that I'm looking at this would be a follow-up question that I could ask to my data. We got an answer. So for Bronx, it was Mott Haven, Port Morris with 1.4 million pickups. Manhattan would be Midtown Center with 4.8 million pickups. And this is actually amazing. Yeah. Are there, this will be the last question before wrapping up the video. Are there any changes in the top one from 2023 to 2024? Now let's see if it can figure out that it now needs to do a year-over-year comparison and then find if there is changes or not. So I only want to see the changes here. I hope that the model can assume that is my actual question. And I know with ChatGPT these days, it will assume things usually correctly. And it will tell me there will be no changes in the top one pickup zones per borough from 2023 to 2024. For both years, the leading zones remained. The number of pickups changed slightly, but the top pickup zones stayed the same in each borough. It will actually tell me that there will be no changes. I can validate the code that it generated in order to give me this answer, and I will always do that. So we can look at the step completed, and then under that step we can find the code. So it will show me here the pickups by borough and zone for 2023. That looks good. the pickup location borough zone 2023 looks amazing. And then for 2024, I do not find 24 here in the code. That's interesting. Maybe I'm overlooking it. No, it's not putting any 24 in there. No. For each borough, show the zone with the highest number of taxi pickups in 2003 and include the number of pickups. That's not good enough. It doesn't include 24 in here. But maybe I think it remembered the previous answer for 2024. And that would actually be a smart thing to do for the model, because it then doesn't need to compute answers that it already knows. So I think it will understand that these are the 2024 numbers, and then it created the 2023 numbers and showed that there were no differences. Now, I can put in example queries. So if I want to share this data agent with my colleagues, I can add in example queries. I will not be doing that right now. And then I can publish the model. So we can put in this model can answer your questions on taxi trips. And we can publish it. And now everybody with access to this workspace or to this model can use that model to start asking questions. So that's actually quite cool. Of course, we can put in permissions here. We can do everything that we want to do, but by opening it, we can change it again. All right. So this is very, very straightforward. I'm excited about this. I have customers that say, I can use ChatGPT to answer questions about my business. I can upload PDF files with manuals, with whatever kind of documents, and start asking questions about it instead of looking manually through things. Why can't I do that with Power BI? And actually you can with Fabric Data Agents. So as of today, this will still be in preview, but it works, as you can see, and it's actually quite accurate as well. If you like this video, do not forget to like and subscribe. If you subscribe to my channel, you will tell me basically, Bas, I like your content. Please make more of it. And I will be making more content, but only if you guys keep liking and subscribing. So with that said, I'll see you next week.